I was 7 years old. I was outside playing with my friends when I was picked up. My clothes were ripped off and I was taken to a room where 3 women waited with blades, scissors, and all tools. These women were not doctors, nor were they medically trained. Just tradition passed down through generations. They cut off my clitoris, the part of my body meant for womanhood. They then sliced away the inner labia and the outer labia. I remember I screamed in pain because during the procedure there's no anesthesia used, no comfort, only blood and loud silence. I remember crying and begging, but the woman told me to be quiet, to be brave, and to be proud, as that was part of our tradition. Once the cutting was done, my skin was stitched back together with thick thread or thorn, leaving only a tiny part of hole, barely enough for urine or blood to pass through. This process is called infibulation and is one of the most severe forms of FGM. After the procedure, I was laid in a dark room with my legs tightly tied together. So after the procedure, I was laid in a dark room with my legs tightly together for days. And I remember I was in a room and I was bleeding every day. I had no toys, I had nothing. I only had charcoal next to me and I used to draw on the wall next to me, and I'd just draw my dreams away just to keep me alive, because that part after the procedures where a lot of girls die and they don't make it out alive. That moment changed me forever and my childhood came to an end. I survived, but many of girls didn't, and they don't. I stand here today for the joy that my mother couldn't reap her love. For generations, our mothers, our grandmothers, and the women before them endured this pain in silence. They were taught that suffering is part of being a woman and that this is normal, but it's not normal. It's not okay, and it's not part of our destiny. I know that I cannot change my past, but I can fight for their future, and I know the consequences that come with that. But I get so many messages from little girls from my country telling me that they're going to be getting female genital mutilation done soon. "98% of women in Somalia have undergone female genital mutilation." 98% is a very big number, and that 2% are just the infants that have not reached the age to be cut yet. That's a whole nation of women in my country. And through my foundation, I bring awareness, I go into community and I do public speaking. I teach mothers that that tradition should never come at the cost of a child's body or soul. We can honor our traditions without having to harm our little daughters. I also created a sisterhood of survivors back home in the UK. Most of them my closest friends. We cry together, we heal together, but most importantly, we use our voices. We fight as we believe that our voices can protect the next generation. I want to protect all the young girls from blades that should never touch them. No little girl should go from playing outside to bleeding in a dark room. And the crown that I wear as Miss Somalia doesn't just represent beauty, but to me it represents responsibility, it represents truth. And I wear it for Fortune, I wear it for Deqa. Fortune and Deqa, both full of life and dreams, whose family I interviewed. Both of them bled to death from this same horror. Their hearts stopped beating because somebody thought that tradition was way more important than their lives. Their bodies couldn't survive what mine barely did. And so, no matter what the consequences is, I'll continue to keep fighting until I see change and until I see the world talk about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Somalia.